All right, let's dive into Maestro and see the things in actions. We'll be starting off with process modeling. Let me quickly create a blank project. So in this phase, process owners have the ability to design and manage agent-driven workflows using these standard tools that are available out there. So on the left panel, you can see a vertical toolbar offering a range of drag and drop activities. Right? These can be used to visually construct and define your business processes with ease. So a business user can typically just drag and drop these, make a connection between them, and define the entire business process. We have quite a bunch of activities in here. So if you see while clicking on the three dots, we have the activities for tasks, subtasks, user actions, for any decision making or any events that are coming in. The best part in here is just let me clear this. So the best part in here is the integration with Autopilot. This provides a chat-based or a conversation-based interface wherein any of the business user can give it his or her requirement in form of a simple layman text, and the Autopilot will do rest of the task in defining the entire or designing the entire interface, right? So let me just give it this task. So this is a very simple one. So I'm saying it to create a standard diagram for order to cash, and it would have few sections wherein we'll see receiving a customer order, we'll be validating those order entries, we'll be seeing the credit check, and then we'll be going to the fulfillment part of it. So a very standard order to cash workflow that we have in our businesses, right? So I'm just giving this as a prompt to the Autopilot, and let's see how it build up the entire design of the business flow. So we can see that it has populated the workflow design for this order to cash process. As a user, I have an option to accept or reject it. So for the timing, let me accept this, and we'll walk through this quick diagram of the design that the Autopilot has built for us. So you can see that there is a activity for starting of the process, and then there is a user defined activity for order entry, and then order entry follows with a credit check. So I can go to the properties and see. So it's a service task, right? So credit check, and based on the credit check there would be a decision that the workflow has to take, right? So if the credit check is approved, we need to go to order fulfillment. If it's not approved, we need to send a rejection, right? So send a rejection again, it's a send task. So all these are the standard business process models that are already there in the industry since long, right? So with the help of these, a business user or a process owner can easily design and define their workflows with all the business logics in place, right? Let's move to the next stage, that is the process implementation stage. So once the process owner is done with the design and layout of the entire process, so this is a customer dispute resolution process for instance, right? So once the process owner is done with it, the developer can jump and developer can use the native UiPath capabilities, right? RPA Agentic to build and execute each part of the workflow. And the best part here is it's not only about the capabilities of UiPath, but we can use out of the organization AI pre-built models as well. So platforms like LangChain or OpenAI can be seamlessly integrated with this Maestro. So let's see how these things work in here. If we see the process, so we have quite a number of actions that the process owner has laid down, and this will give a heads way to the developer on what all things need to be developed or implemented, right? So for example, in case of a customer dispute resolution, there is an agent that is waiting for a customer ID, and once it has those customer IDs, it will fetch the details of that customer, right? If I go to the implementation section, we can see that this is for a start, and it's for the action part, it's start and wait for an agent. And the other good thing about this is, so we have those UiPath agents. Once the agent is done with its part, it can trigger RPA workflow. So in here, which says retrieve past complaints for the same customer, we are calling a RPA workflow, and the RPA workflow takes in the argument as customer ID and sending out the argument, other predefined arguments within the flow, right? So in the overall high level picture, we can see that how agent is being able to interact with the RPA workflow. Not only this, so we have a user submit dispute for an order, right? So we can create an action task. So my bad, so the action task is not defined here. But if we are notifying the user for action, so it can even call a action task for a human as well. So we'll see that the entire set of UiPath ecosystem, right, from agents to RPAs and to action centers for human, are coming into one single picture. And not just this, external AI agents as well, as I said, right? So platforms like LangChain or OpenAI agents can be seamlessly integrated within this platform. This is more of a developer implementation point of view. Another cool feature from UiPath Maestro is the monitoring of all the running instances. So currently we are into instance management page, wherein we can see all the instances that have been executed for this process. This is again a customer dispute resolution use case, wherein we are expecting a customer care agent will be filling in a customer ID to get the relevant details of the customer. So from the UiPath apps, the customer agent can enter any customer ID and click on check status for checking all the complaints related queries from those customers. Once the customer agent has clicked on this, we can go back to the instance management state and we can see all the running instances. Let me filter it with the running and faulted so we can see the latest one. So we can see that there is currently one running instance that we just triggered. It's running from 10 seconds. If I click on this instance, I can see the real-time progress that the bot or the agents are making into the process, right? So we can see the stages. We can see the stages of the processes as being described by the process owner, and then we can see the current flow that is happening, right? So it has passed the first stage, second stage, it has already taken a decision, and then it's going to a third stage, right, wherein our agent is fetching details from the order history for a valid customer, right? So it's doing, so we can, as a monitoring team, we can monitor the real-time progress of the instances that are out there, right? Another cool feature is, so this red highlighted are the faulted one, right? So I can click on any of the instance that have been faulted, and I can see where exactly from the flow, I can observe where exactly the instance has got faulted. So in this case, it got faulted when it queried for a new record, and the reason for that is, let me just click on this, and I can see that it failed due to the integration service failed. So maybe there was a change in the credentials, or maybe there was a network fail out with the integration service, and hence this instance failed, right? I have the option to retry, I have the option to migrate it to a newer version of the code, and then we can do those things as well, right? But yet again, a very interesting feature offered by UiPath Maestro, which is instance management, on which I can see all the real-time running instances live going up. from the instance management section, we can move to the monitoring part of it. And once we are on to the monitoring part, so we have quite a few dashboards that the Maestro offers us. So for instance, I can see the top 10 faulted elements, the top 10 active instances by the longest durations. For example, this is an instance that has almost taken 28 minutes to execute, and by the activities as well. So top 10 elements that have taken the longest average duration, right? So this is one of the element in the flow that have taken a higher duration time as compared to others, right? And this is visible in the pictorial mode as well. So if I just zoom it and I need to highlight the heat map, so I can simply click on this toggle show heat map. And once I click on this toggle, I can see that, okay, this is a place where in the entire process that is like taking more time as expected. And the beauty of this is I can hover over any activity and I can see a minimum and the maximum time duration that it has taken. It also shows P95 and P99. So for 95% of the process, it has taken almost less than 1 second. And for 99% of the instances, it has again taken less than 1 second, right? But this is an area for concern for any monitoring team or a process owner, so they can visualize it and then they can work on the optimization part of it. And respective to this, all such information is visible out there in these 6 dashboards as well. On the last segment, process optimization, Maestro offers a cool feature wherein for any of the instance, so just for example, I have open customer dispute resolution process, and this is one of the instance that we are looking into. Any process admin can see the faulted area, as we can see in red, right? And this might be because of some error in the current version. So what process admin have the power is they can simply click on migrate. They can migrate to a newer version where the common or the known error has been fixed. They can click on migrate instance. So the code will move to that instance, and they can click on retry and just provide their commands and retry the instance. So all the states of that process or that particular instance have been saved, and going forward, it will be migrated to the newer version. So anyway, in between the process admins can roll out newer versions of the workflow to the running instances, right? That's another cool feature that is being covered under process optimization from the Maestro.